games in the Superdome. What was that like out there? How different was it?
Man, it was different. I'm not going to lie. You run out and obviously you're used to just the energy and the emotion in the dome. The fans, obviously with each and every play, you're waiting for that fan reaction, right? That big cheer on a big offensive play or a big defensive stop or special teams play or whatever it might be. And, obviously, they play stand up and get crunk, and it was only at 75 decibels, right? Not at about the 100 decibels like it normally is with everybody singing and dancing along with it. So, and they didn't do Choppa style justice either. They had to keep that volume down too, which was disappointing. We wish we had fans out there. We wish they were able to be out there with us and be a part of this. But at this stage, listen, this is the normal for now. And so I think for us coming into it, obviously we knew it was going to be different. We knew there was going to be just some unknowns. But at the end of the day, it was, hey, worry about what we can control, create our own energy, focus on the job that we have to do. And listen, I thought it was a great team win. We're going to look at the tape, and there's going to be plenty of mistakes in all areas of this game. And obviously we can get so much better in so many areas. But at the end of the day, it was a great team win against a really good opponent.
Next question from Catherine Terrell.
Actually, I have two. Have you ever noticed how loud the net going up and down and the smoke machines are before? Because we could hear them all the way up here, which was weird.
Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, everything was toned down. Like even the smoke machines and all that stuff, I'm telling you, it was probably like 25% of what it normally is. So, even just kind of that little buzz in the stadium that they create, in between plays or kind of during the game at 70 decibels, that just feels like a whisper, compared to what it normally is.
The other question I was going to ask is, did you guys come out with the intention in the first quarter, first half, to do more intermediate and shorter throws, or was that more of what the defense just happened to be giving you?
They were staying on top. They weren't really allowing us to push the ball down the field. We called a few shot plays. Actually, one of them, they brought a pressure and just got to me. Otherwise, I think we have a big play. Otherwise, we wanted to establish the run against a very good run defense. We felt like that would open up opportunities in the passing game. I felt like, listen, there was plenty of room to be more efficient. We weren't as efficient in the passing game as I know we can be and as I want to be. But at the end of the day, we were the beneficiaries of good field position, from special teams, blocking a kick, making some plays, defense, turnovers. Great, that really, I think we felt like, man, we always had the momentum every time we stepped on the field, which is a good feeling.
Next question from Sean Pazan.
Hey, Drew, can you just describe what you saw on the 46-yard connection to Jared Cook in the fourth quarter?
Yeah. Well, speaking of big plays, I think obviously defense comes out and gets the pick six to start off the second half, which was awesome. And then, they respond and bring it back to 24-17. And so offensively, we had 2 3-and-outs and we really hadn't managed that third quarter very well. So fourth quarter, and we knew we needed an explosive play. We needed something just to get us going, and had the opportunity to check to a play that felt like had some down the field opportunities, and Jared got behind the defense, and we got a big play. A couple plays later, scored to Emmanuel Sanders, and obviously that was a big jump in that game. Going from 1 possession to 2 possessions, and that's when I think we felt like, man, we're just building on the lead here now.
Next question is from Doug Newton.
Yeah, hey, Drew. Sean described his own play calling in this game as awful. That was his word. Did it feel out of sync to you for a big part of this game?
Well, if you ask me how I felt like I played, I'd probably say I played awful as well. So I guess that's we get to be our harshest critics, coming off this game. I know that there's certainly we are used to playing at a much higher level offensively. And I think especially in the passing game. So we'll get that back on track.
Next question is from Nick Underhill.
Sean was saying, too, that they were doing some stuff in coverage that maybe you guys weren't expecting, and they were doing more of it than you usually see from them. Can you just describe some of the stuff they were seeing that did make it a little bit harder to move the ball?
Yeah, they did some different stuff. And listen, Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator. You know that he's always going to have a very specific plan for you. And listen, they executed it very well. I think the best thing we did was, we took care of the football. We ran the ball well. We put together some long drives. We were only 3 of 6 in the red zone, which obviously you want to score touchdowns every time you get in the red zone, or at least be much more efficient than that. Third down was pretty pitiful. We can be a lot better there. But listen, we always know that regardless of what you see on film, you got to go out and you got to play the game. The defenses always seem to have a very specific plan for us, play us much different than maybe what they showed other people, just based on our personnel and everything else. So then we're constantly having to adjust on the fly. That's just what we do. And we definitely could have done a better job today with that.
Next question is from Christopher Donalds.
Well, Michael Thomas had one of his most quiet games as a member of the Saints. Was that a credit more to what the Bucs defense was doing, or was that something that you guys were game planning for, of maybe focusing more on the run game this week?
Well, I mean, listen, I think you definitely want to get him more targets and more opportunities. I missed him on a throw or two where we should have connected. But still overall, I think his target number was lower than it usually is. Didn't feel like there were a ton of opportunities, just based on, the way that we were, just kind of running the ball and doing some other things. So it just played out that way this time around.
Next question from Chris Hagan.
Drew, it seemed like on those first couple third downs, you targeted Jared Cook a good bit. You were obviously successful with a number of them later in the game. Is that just a result of the chemistry growing between you guys and kind of carrying over from last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm so confident with Jared. I think he's a great matchup, regardless of who's on him. Obviously his size, speed, and his ability to separate. Typically if he's getting safety and linebacker matchups, that's good for us. Listen, with all of our personnel, you throw out personnel grouping with Traquan and Mike Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders and Alvin and Jared. I mean, it's like pick your poison. So, that's a good problem to have. But I think just, again, overall, we can definitely be more efficient with the passing game.
Next question is from Ricardo LeCompte.
Hey, Drew, and speaking of that personnel, Alvin had 2 touchdowns for you guys. How important is it to giving you guys balance on offense? And at the same token, him getting that deal done and that's out of the way, I'm sure, that's a big relief for him. And you don't have to worry about, that pressing issue going into the season, correct?
Yeah. I mean, listen, we're football players, and we know what's at stake here. We know what we're trying to build and obviously accomplish. And so, at the end of the day, we understand that contracts are a part of the game. And, it doesn't change the preparation, it doesn't change the mindset, but certainly it's good to know that that's done, signed, sealed, delivered, and so yeah, good.
Next question from Mike Triplett.
Hey, Drew, there was a lot of historic overtones for this game. You passed Brett Favre for career pass attempts, but also obviously you and Tom being in this game, the only 2 40-plus-year-olds to start a game. You now have the career edge on him. Any appreciation for any of that in this game, either before or now that it's over?
Yeah, I mean, listen, of course it's significant and it's unique. I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't mean, a little bit more. Obviously I've got, so much love and respect for him and what he's been able to accomplish and obviously his journey and really both of our journeys. We played against each other in college, for goodness sakes, 1999. I'm sure there's some guys on our team that weren't born when that game happened. But, at the end of the day, I think, we would both pinch ourselves, if you told us back then that we'd have the opportunity to play, this long and be a part of so many great teams and so many great moments, historic moments. Yeah, nothing but respect for him. Obviously, they got a great team. We're going to have to worry about them later on in the year as well. But for now, it's nice to get that win.
Okay, last question from Elena Bergeron.
Hi, we saw a lot of different things from teams around the league leading into week 1 in the performances, both of the national anthem and the Black national anthem. What was the conversation like with this team about how you guys would approach it?
At the end of the day, obviously that's everybody's own personal decision. But what we were focused on and what we've been focused on as a team and as a group of leaders is how can we continue the social justice conversations, both within our locker room and around the country, and really utilizing the platform that we have to be a strong voice for those that don't have one. And so we've adopted the Say Her Name campaign. We've got a bunch of great stuff that we're going to be rolling out throughout this season. So stay tuned for that. But we're really excited about that, and obviously the opportunity to be able to bring attention to and highlight so many issues, especially that face Black women.
Okay, we're all set. Thank you, Drew.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, that'll do it from the Saints players. And Drew Brees put it best, saying it was a great team win. There were some things that didn't look so good and some that did. And actually, we're heading back over because they are bringing somebody else. Demario Davis is going to hop on the chat, and unexpected, but we are looking forward to hearing from.
Hey, Demario, it was reported during the game that you signed a contract extension last night. Can you just talk about what that means to you, and just coming into your own here and being able to get that contract?
Man, it's so much of a blessing, man. I'm just so blessed, me, my family. It's so much of a blessing, man. I really can't even put it into words, I mean, in 2016, I was back in Cleveland. You know what I mean? I was contemplating retirement. I was like, and I prayed, like, God, if you're not done with me in this game, then, use me, rejuvenate my mind, rejuvenate my body, and He did that. And since then, was able to go to New York, be successful, get a contract here, and now get, an extension. And then playing in my backyard, playing on a phenomenal team. And, I'm just so blessed. For me, it was really, I didn't want to leave this family. I didn't want to leave this brotherhood, and so when I was in a situation where, potentially go and play it out and go to free agency or stay, man, I just wanted to be here. And there's so much talent, so much love, so much passion, great culture, great community. So me and my family are blessed just to have an extension here and continue to spend a couple more years here with this brotherhood and this family and chase our goals and winning the Super Bowl and more.
Next question is from Catherine Terrell.
Hey, Demario, when did your contract actually get done? Was that sometime late last night? I feel like it kind of snuck by, and has it been in the works for a while?
They say real G's move in silence like lasagna. One of my favorite quotes. And so, yeah, it's been in the works for a minute. But I got a great agency with CAA, Tom Condon, and a great relationship with Mickey, and they worked it out and got it done. And it was done, it's working all the way up to the game, but we got it done in time, so that's a blessing.
Next question is from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Demario, just what did you think about the team's defensive effort today, especially just kind of with like the big plays from Marcus and Janoris and kind of keeping y'all up despite the offense kind of struggling for a bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, the offense may say they struggle, but, anytime you got 40 points on the board, I'm not gonna say you struggle. And so for us defensively, it was just important for us to start fast. We knew we were going to be facing a good offense, a lot of weapons, arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, probably top two, and so we knew it was going to be a challenge. We knew it was going to be a dogfight, and our defensive front played amazing. Even though some stuff we got to clean up, but I mean, just played phenomenal. When you were able to play a lot, keep our safeties over the top of those great receivers, and so it was on the front to clean up the runs and did a phenomenal job at that. And then having to take away so many of their good targets when you got Gronkowski and you got Evans and Godwin, and so. And then at the end of the day, the takeaways are the trump card. And so Marcus, I mean, he's been doing that since he got in the league. Arguably one of the best free safeties in the game. And then Janoris Jenkins, for him to do one of our defensive goals. Our defensive goal is to break the touchdown record. And so he started us off right, you know. And so I think now we got to get like 9 more to tie or something like that. And so for him to make that play, that's what he does, man. I think he moved up like top 10 all time for defensive touchdowns, which he's in great company. And so it's nothing new to him. And so we just got so many great players and great coaching. So it's our job to go out and put in, you know, stop performances no matter what else is going on.
Next question from Mike Triplett.
Hey, Demario, I think Vegas's Josh Jacobs just had a big game today, but you guys kept that streak alive with no 100-yard rushers. How much do you think your run defense has been an underrated part of your success in the 2+ years you've been here now?
I don't know if it's underrated. It's important to us. That's one of our main goals, win the line of scrimmage. And that's in the run game and in the passing game. And so it's important to make teams one-dimensional. Just in general, for good defense, you have to have great run defense. And, you know, with our defensive line, it just makes the work for linebackers very easy. And then we got safeties and nickels who love to hit. And so it's important. And we take pride in it, and it's a lot of work and preparation.
Okay, last question from Amy Just.
Yeah, I know we talked about it at length the other day, but y'all finally got to get out there and wear the Say Her Name shirts and have the helmet decals and continue that conversation. What did it feel like for y'all to put it out there in the world with everything that y'all are doing?
Look, it's important to us. Even though we get to play this great game, we're not gonna, you know, stop talking about these issues and stop using our platform to bring awareness to these issues and using our resources to bring change in our communities. You know, I think at the end of the day, when you hear people say it was never about the flag, I say, you know, it was never about the flag for the people who had a problem with people speaking out about the issue. The people weren't mad because players were speaking out on issues. People were mad because players are speaking in general and doing something, doing the right thing. You have people, you know, you have players take a unity stance. People boo. So people, it's never been about anything other than, you know, wanting players to stay in a place and not wanting to speak on the issues of the Black community. But, you know, I'm just proud of so many players across all leagues, WNBA, NBA, MLB, NFL, taking a stance and using their platforms to bring change. And it's forcing the world to have a conversation, forcing our country to have a conversation that we never had. And it's being had in schools, it's being had in churches, it's being had on every news station. And it's not going to go away until we fix these issues. And maybe eventually we can get past race and start talking about something else, maybe food or something.